Five, four, three, two, one, go.
Guitar Stories Podcast, your number one show for everything guitar.
Hello, hello, hello! Episode 86. I've put the sponsor at the beginning this week, Dan, because I felt like pressing a button. We're sponsored this week by Stumac and Guitar Auctions.
Wonderful.
So if you need Stumac stuff, then we'll talk about it in a bit. If you need Guitar Auction stuff, we'll talk about that in a little bit as well. If you need Marcin stuff, we'll definitely talk about that.
Indeed. Hello, my friend. It's great to be back.
Oh, you are gainy as heck, my friend. Whatever you did to you're now boosting. You're like. Urgh.
Okay, is that better? I just
that's
nice?
much more less intimate, but more enjoyable to listen to.
All right. The level here is fairly okay. So yeah. Anyways, episode 86. It's great to be back, especially after last week. We should be pretty open. It was a rather saddening experience to have that many tech issues last week. We were looking forward to a great episode, and then we were kind of a little bit disappointed afterwards. But even more so, it's great to be back and to so far have not experienced any issues except for some slight things right before the show, right, Andy?
You mean the fact that I had no internet connection and
Yeah.
and I was writing to you and just sitting here lightly weeping. That's all I was doing. And then for some reason, about 15 minutes ago, it just said, "Oh, now I work. Now it works."
Fantastic.
So, yeah. But enough of my troubles, Dan. Enough
Yeah.
of my troubles. Let's have a look at the people in the chat. They're wonderful people. So let's talk to them. Josh Tamberg is here. Hello, Josh. Valeria is here. Hello, Valeria. Thank you for moderating. Valeria says Dan is too loud.
Still?
I second that for now and forever.
Okay. Do you want me to remove it even further?
No,
okay.
That was earlier. Earlier.
Okay. So let's stick. Oh wow, we get so many people.
Call center mics. Jason Welch is here. Guitarra Viva. Hello, Carlos. Hola.
¿Cómo estás?
Studio Emil is here. He's given us a super chat of €4. We've barely started.
But he texted, I preferred season 1. Seriously?
Do you know why?
No. Tell me.
It only cost him €1 in season 1. And now in season 4, it cost him €4.
Do you think those kind of very profane monetary kind of ideas are really leading him to such a conclusion?
I know him so well that I guarantee it is. And when we start season 12 next week, we're going to see what happens. Saba is here. Hey, Saba. And also, it's Valeria. Melodify. There we go. Hello, Melodify. Also, if you're listening to the audio version and you're in your car or your office or your guitar shop, then please drive safely. Please operate machinery carefully. And please practice.
Yeah. I guess we're in for a treat because we have a very special guest today.
Yeah.
It's been the making for a while and very happy to have him. Do you want me to give him a little bit of an introduction so that everyone knows who we are talking about?
Would you?
It would be an absolute pleasure to do that. All right, Annie. I've picked a kind of slightly different approach to previous shows. So, winner of Polish talent show Must Be the Music. Winner of Italian talent show Tu Si Chi Vales, and semi-finalist at America's Got Talent. Who do you think that could be?
Well, it ain't me, that's for sure. It's not me.
Yeah, it sounds like a resume of a, I don't know, extremely talented musician or a dancer or a singer or stuntman or whatever. But we are talking about an instrumental guitarist named Marcin. And I have the privilege to have been working a while with Marcin, and he is now 22 years old. Yeah, he was born 2000. And he's become a guitar virtuoso, a YouTube phenomenon with his ferocious modern fingerstyle playing. And what's so cool about him is he's doing renditions not just of classical pieces, but he's also vibing, kind of reviving metal tracks, hip hop songs, etc. And he's on such a run. He scored a record deal with Sony. He's been playing the Royal Albert Hall for I think 7 times as a guest. And he started to tour Europe with sold out shows, and has been playing in front of several bands, like as an opening act. It's crazy. And he just recently has become a signature artist for Ibanez as well, with a beautiful acoustic guitar that I'm pretty sure we'll be talking about later. So let's give it up for Marcin.
He's kind of squirming in the background. He's very humble, I can tell that. Hello, Marcin.
What's up? Hi.
Dzień dobry.
Hi,
Hey.
Dzień dobry. What's up? How are you? Good to see you guys.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to episode 86.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. I've been listening to your music, and I can tell you something else you can add to your resume is that my cat doesn't like it.
Oh shit!
My cat finds it disturbing, and
Well, give me some time. Maybe I'll switch the genre, and he'll dig it more.
So, yeah, I mean, I think it's the percussive guitars. I'm pretty sure that the cat knows what a guitar is, but the way that you play it, that's confusing for a cat.
I think he just sees my sweaters and how most of them are just kind of messed up, and he gets angry that he's not the one.
Probably wants to.
Maybe
or the hair or something like. There's a lot of stuff that you can kind of, scratch. You know what I mean? Like the sweater stuff. So maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Actually, do you know something, Marcin? You have the haircut that I've always wanted.
Oh, really? Why the hell would you want that? Do not recommend that to anybody, to be honest. It's not practical at all.
I tried so hard.
Like, do you wake up and you've got like crazy hair that did like celebrate a party without you overnight?
Bro, I don't even know. I mean, I don't know. It's weird. The problem with this sort of hair is that you have to wash it like so much, like probably twice a day if you want it to actually look like it's clean, because it just gets so greasy. I don't know. Maybe I'm just greasy or something, but it's not fun. And you can't see anything. Like I play and I'm like,
hang on, I need to write this down. Wash twice a day.
You also can't have so many curls in your hair, so you can also write that down. I don't think that's gonna work well for you.
I know, Marcin. I know.
Yeah. But it's a thing now. I feel like Ichikak is a similar thing, right? It's like a similar vibe. Maybe he's a bit more straight, like I'm a bit more like kind of round thing.
Yeah.
But it's a vibe,
I think it's kind of revival of that kind of look. Back in the day, like in the 90s, like mid 90s, when Backstreet Boys were big, everyone was having that kind of haircut. So it's
it's the middle part, right? That's the thing, the middle part.
Not everyone, Dan. Not everyone. However, Josh Tamberg in the live chat, he said he had that haircut in 1999.
Yeah.
There you go.
He knows what's up.
Yeah.
You weren't even born then, dude. You have accomplished so much in so little time.
Cheers.
I am so in awe of you and so happy that you're here.
Thanks, Andy. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
We have some wonderful people in the chat that obviously have questions for you. And if you're in the chat right now and you have questions for Marcin, then please save them for a little bit later or post them now and I will read them, or Dan will read them later. They won't be asked yet because it's bad podcasting technique to just go straight out of the gate with all the questions, because then people might get answers and leave. They might get bored of Dan and my...
Yeah. And we're all about technique here, so it's very important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, let's go straight to it. Let's go straight to gear before we get into any Marcin questions, because I think gear often tells us a lot about an artist and musician.
Bro, I don't think so. I'm sorry, I'll interrupt you. I'm like, let me just say, by the way, no offense to Andy, but I'm here for Dan, like when he texted me, I'm so busy now, but I was like, okay, like for Dan, I'll do it. So, but I have no clue about gear. I literally, I'm like clueless, like to be honest, I just play guitar, man. I don't know anything about these things. So just a disclaimer, if I make like an ass out of myself, that's why. I'm just not pretending to be a gear mastermind or something.
Dan, do you want to take this? You want to take this, Dan, or shall I take it?
Actually, I was just thinking like he probably did it right because he was actually practicing when we were just talking about guitars, right?
That's why.
Yeah,
all the time that Dan and I
that's what you mean. I know
about guitars.
Okay.
You've been playing.
You've been woodshedding. We were in forums and texting and discussing about which pedal is the best.
Oh, that's not me. That's
Rubbish.
so not me. Like if I could use no pedals, I'd use no pedals. Like my whole rig is just like so. I mean, when you play percussively, kind of has to be big, but comparatively to other percussive guitarists, I'm trying to squeeze it as little as possible. I just don't want to be pressing stuff. I just want to play, you know?
Yeah. Nobody wants to be a tap dancer, but that would be a great thing to actually tackle later on, because I desperately want to know how you kind of developed everything, because you usually travel with that big pedal board and with a lot of cables, etc. So maybe we'll save that for later and kind of dig a little bit deeper into that.
I can't wait. But I'll go back to my original statement, and what you've just said, Marcin, tells us a lot about you. You know, the fact that you don't like gear, that tells us something about you.
Well, I wouldn't say that I don't like gear. It's just that I'm not into gear, you know?
Okay.
I mean,
I beg your pardon, but whatever you said, yeah, that's a valid
good
place to be.
Let's keep that in mind.
Of course.
let's not fight until at least halfway through the show. You know, we save fights for about halfway through for some drama.
Right.
Yeah.
But in that case, Marcin, we will go to you for the first gear pick of the week, because I believe it is something you are fairly comfortable with and fairly cool, I would say. A cool piece of gear. What is your gear pick of the week, Marcin?
Thank God for that thing, because if it wasn't for this, there would be nothing I could pick. I mean, my gear pick of the week, my gear pick of the century is my signature, man. It's the MRC10, the signature Ibanez guitar, bro. That's the pick.
That's
Best
fantastic.
acoustic on the planet, hands down. So
Yeah.
I mean, what else could I pick?
Can you give us some specs, Marcin? How does it work? What makes it special? Why is it a signature?
Well, I mean, there's kind of a ton to talk about, to be honest. First of all, I mean, just immediately you can see that the design is kind of different. If you like the scratch pad, which is what this is, kind of just jumps straight at you, you know, when you see it. You can even see it behind Dan right now. It's even cooler than mine. No, why is it cooler than mine? Mine is kind of more pale.
I think it's just a lighting.
No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's like, I think that's the most unique thing that we did, because first of all, I don't think there's any mass-produced, like globally produced guitars with a scratch pad. I don't think so. If there are, I'm not aware, but like, you know, this is the best one, obviously. But also we have the shape here, which is really unique. I really wanted something which is more than just straight line or something, because I hate these sort of things. I'm not a minimalist, you know. I mean, you can tell when I play I'm not a minimalist. So I wanted something that kind of resembles a flamey type thing, you know, like all of that stuff. So we did a lot of flame stuff around. But more in terms of proper specs, the bracing is also unique. I think the only place where you can find this sort of bracing is this guitar, because we added this special plate here. So when I play percussively, I don't know how well you can hear through my AirPods, but you know, this is like the main space where you play the kick drum, right? And this as well, but you know, this especially. So if you're playing the kick, it's super strong, like your wrist is really like just going at it. So when I was really young, when I was like, I don't know, like 14, 15, when I just picked up the acoustic, my dad just literally glued a piece of some like random wood underneath here, you know, just with a mirror. And that's what I told to the Ibanez team, like, we need to do this. So now it's properly here. So if you play percussively, these two elements are like the shit, like they're the best thing you can ask for. The string action is madly good. I mean, it's like the best thing ever. You know, I was talking to Tim from Polyphia and I showed him the guitar. He like really didn't seem too into like looking at the guitar, but then I showed him the action. He was like, "Whoa, bro!" That's when he like, you know, he was like, "Yeah, this is like proper thing." So it's super easy to tap, you know, and do all sorts of things like that. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other things. You know, we have those tuners, sleek Japanese tuners. You know, and I mean, ton of stuff. You know, I'm not gonna talk about everything because it's kind of. Or maybe I should, because it's the guitar, the geek, right? The geek stuff. That's what I'm
now
of course.
The stage is yours.
Shot.
You can talk as much as you want.
Yeah. So, okay. I mean, I don't want to talk too much about these things, but the one thing which is super cool is that we actually widened this part a little bit, just a tiny bit, so that the guitar, because I have a classical background, right? So I wanted to be able to get this soft, sweet sound when I want to play soft, and then obviously go really hard when I want to do that. So, you know, Shinji from the Ibanez team, he suggested widening this part a little bit so that the range, the dynamic range is bigger. So if I play like super, I don't know how we can hear that, but I play super soft. That's almost a nylon sound, you know? Even with a nail, like, you know, on a steel string, it's really soft, right? And that wasn't possible before on like normal acoustics. And obviously, you know, if you go hard, you go hard. But that's another thing that I'm super happy about. What else? The pickup is absolutely sick. Shout out to Fishman. Great guys. I need to write back to Ryan from Fishman. I have been ghosting him for like 2 weeks now. Shout out to them. Yeah, so the pickup is the best percussive guitar pickup, I feel like. Like, honestly. I mean, you know, anything I say is honest, but like this, for real, you know, you have it's the blend, right? So you have the actual pickup here. Right? Yeah, exactly. And then the mic here. So what I do is I split the signal from the jack into a stereo jack, right? There's really like you need to tweak it really like barely anything, right? It's basically ready for that. And then as I send it out to my rig, you know, one jack has actually the strings, like only pure string sound, and the other one is the mic, so mostly percussion and some, you know, string bleed or whatever. But that comes with the guitar, which is a huge deal. You know, like when you buy an acoustic guitar, most of the pickups aren't really very good, to be honest. And I mean, I think most of it comes down to cost, I would imagine. Maybe Dan can correct me, but in general, I mean, the pickups on acoustics aren't great, you know, from experience. And this is great, like it's more than great, and it comes with the guitar. So I'm stoked about that. You know, obviously the graphics here were designed, I mean, by me and the Ibanez team, but the genesis of that comes from my brother because he's like a designer, you know, interior designer, graphic designer. So this little like flame thing, all of that comes from the logo which he designed for me. So it's super cool because it's like, you know, my dad did this for me, the play before, he did this. It's like a family thing, you know?
Sweet.
And then like visually this as well is super. I mean, I love this because it's like, you know, the M from Marcin and then kind of bursts out of the Ibanez sort of little graphic flower thing. Yeah, you can see it, right?
Yeah. I hadn't seen it before. I just thought it was the regular motif.
No, I mean there's something there. I mean everything has been thought through, and I feel like Ibanez hasn't done it before, right? Dan, is that right? Like with that little logo thing up on the headstock.
I think we had several logos, but this is like a custom logo just for you, and
that's what I mean.
Really,
that's what I mean. Like an really artist-specific signature logo thing.
No, that's completely. I mean, I think on the jazz guitars, like the Benson, etc., there's some of those kind of styles. But on acoustic, it's definitely a first.
Yeah, sick. So I mean, that's the bulk of it. I mean, it's a sick guitar. Honest to God, it's like the best acoustic you can get, and not only for percussive playing. Because I mean, you know, that's just what I do, but. The good thing about this style is that nobody's forcing you to do any of that. And if you add a scratch pad or if you add a little plate underneath or widen the body or lower action, that doesn't prevent you from playing in other styles, right? It only adds this extra level of possibility, right? So yeah, I mean, I'm just stoked about it. It's great.
Yeah. I think you
Michael,
started.
I have two questions. Sorry.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
What is the neck profile like? Is it a thick neck? Is it a thin neck?
I mean, I feel like the neck is kind of standard for the AE Ibanez's. I didn't actually want to mess with that. Because basically before and still today, sometimes I play the AE 900, right, which I think is not even produced anymore. So I feel like the neck, if I remember correctly, the neck is straight up taken from there. Super high quality. I mean, that's why I played the guitar, the 900 one, because it's just so smooth. And yeah, it's not wide, it's not thick. I don't like thick stuff, you know, like it's I don't know if you can see well, but it's kind of lean, I guess. Again, I'm not a gear guy. I don't like care too much about the specs. I just have the guitar in my hand. I know it's right. So we didn't fix what wasn't broke, you know, and this is one of those things.
That's good.
You know?
That's good.
Yeah.
And very important to this section of the show is how much does it cost?
It's I think it's $14.99, right?
Yep, correct.
Yeah, $14.99. So
that's a fair
good price. I think it's more than fair, let me tell you. But I know that, you know, people have different opinions on which price is fine or not, but like for this amount of quality and uniqueness and innovation like this, it's a steal in my opinion, you know. Like yeah.
I genuinely didn't know the price, and
Period.
I was thinking it was going to be somewhere more close to €2,000. So that's a really positive
Yeah.
surprise.
I mean, we wanted to do that because a lot of my audience is very young, you know, especially the part of the audience who play guitar, which actually isn't that much, by the way, but like it's a good bulk to play guitar. They are all very young guys, you know, or girls. So for them, I mean, you don't want to make a guitar which is crazy expensive and unattainable. I mean, you want to make a guitar which actually people have and play and buy, right? I'm not into making collectibles at this point. I'm not releasing any NFTs anytime soon. So, you know, so the guitar is very much accessible, I think. Of course, it is a higher end guitar. It is like a proper instrument. It's not a toy. But yeah, I mean, the price is more than fair.
Yeah, and if I may add the the cool story about the whole guitar is that, like Marcin said, he started with the AE900, which back in the day was the high-end acoustic that Ivan has made, and then throughout the year, you know, we've been adding, like he added the pickup systems, and we've been retrofitting with the Fishman Rare Earth blend pickup system, and you know. You've been adding stuff like the scratch plate or the reinforcement below the top, so that kind of was a natural evolution basically of a guitar that was once a stock AE900, like, you know, non-fingerstyle guitar, and now it has become so much more through all the years and all the
you're right. I actually didn't think about it, but yeah, it was like a gradual process of kind of signaturizing, you know, the guitar. Yeah, but by the way, shout out to the whole acoustic Ibanez team. I met them in Nagoya in October. So I don't remember all their names. Of course, I remember Shinji Ishigami, who's the main guy at the acoustic team. What an amazing team of people, man! They're just like killing it recently. With this one, obviously, also the new Tim guitar. It's also their thing. I mean, it's like mad how good they are. So shout out Shinji, their whole team. Shout out Moti from Ibanez and Tomo. Yeah, I love those guys. And Dan, but you know, maybe we'll argue soon on the podcast. So I'm not gonna shout out him.
Yeah. All right.
All right, Marcin, how does it feel to talk about gear? I think you did really, really well. I'm not sure if you feel dirty.
Bro, I love talking. I love talking. I might not like gear, but I just talk. So you need to stop me. Like, I swear to God, I did this. And look at me talk now. But I did this interview pretty recently, like this year, with one of the bigger guitar websites, probably Guitar World, maybe. I think it was Guitar World, and I just like kept like rambling, you know. And the guy just like asked me to stop at some point because like, you know, I was just like talking so much. So yeah, whether gear or not, I can just talk, bro. It's okay.
All right. Well, it maybe it's time for Dan to talk now.
All right.
I think we should have Dan's pick of the week and see how it stacks up against yours. We'll take a little break to hear a little Dan jingle.
Dan's pick of the week. Dan's pick of the week.
All right.
I never heard that before. I never saw that.
You mean you don't watch every week? How dare you?
Sorry, guys.
He's busy practicing, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Playing live.
Much better use of your time. Sorry. Yeah. What's your pick of the week, Daniel?
My pick of the week is a Japan exclusive. We're kind of staying in Japan, and I picked a brand named Fender, and they've just released a Stratocaster called the Hybrid 2. And that kind of really intrigued me because it reminded me so much of the old John Mayer signature guitar from back in the day when they had an artist series with that, what they called competition stripe. And that pretty much encapsulates the vibe of that run. And this is a limited run in graffiti yellow. I really dig the chrome covered humbucker in the bridge. It's an AHSS configuration, so a little bit of more modern tweak to it and not just the single coils. I love the blend of the kind of graffiti yellow, which is very vibrant and very loud, almost screaming at you, and then you've got like the vintagey aesthetics of the slightly aged knobs and the the covers of the single coils. To me, I just thought it was a really interesting take on a very old concept. And if you don't mind to kind of show us the Mayer, did you upload that as well? It's really, really close to that. So it gives me a lot of John Mayer vibes as well. So yeah, and also nowadays Blink 182 is back in the game. It also has a little bit of that Tom DeLonge signature Stratocaster vibe as well. I think when these got released like 20 years ago or so, they also came in similar colors. So it's a very interesting run. I think it's Japan exclusive, like I said. And I would love to see more guitars from several brands in that style. So looking forward to that. But yeah, that's my pick basically. How do you guys like it?
That's a sick pick. I love it.
Cool.
It looks like a guitar of a race car driver. That's what I
Yeah,
think.
that's what
two
I
for
thought.
two.
Yeah.
I will say that when you said John Mayer at the beginning, I thought you'd lost your mind, because that says anything like that is the last guitar that I thought looked like a John Mayer, and I forgot that Fender did the competition stripe one. So
Yeah.
I apologize for thinking you were foolish, but and now I've said it. So yeah, I don't think you're foolish. I just thought you'd lost your mind for a moment.
Yeah.
Did you get a price on that? I did. It was about
you did?
€950.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because you sent it to me earlier, and it was in yen, of course, because of the Japanese market. And I have such a love-hate relationship with the Japanese Fenders, because I love most of the Fenders that come out of Japan, and I hate that they stay in Japan. It's not fair. Japan Fender is possibly one of my favorite Fenders. It's just not fair.
Yeah.
I think that's a
Maybe
strong
you should-
pick then.
Maybe you should adjust for how the yen has fallen, though, because it's like now it's like dipping, so low that maybe
Ooh.
once it comes back, it's gonna be like twice more expensive.
Yeah.
I hear you. Right, that's a good idea. That's a good advice there.
Yeah, let's talk economics, guys. That's what I'm here for. Let's talk like inflation, stocks. Let's do it.
Welcome to the financial advice
Geeks.
section of the
Yeah,
show. General advice: just buy everything now, because it might get more expensive later. That's the general advice we give.
Sure.
All right,
Buy
let's,
MRC10, just period. Nothing added. Just buy MRC10. That's my advice.
Yeah.
Also good advice. Can't argue. Let's go and see what the people in the chat are saying so far. What did they say about Marcin's guitar? Melodify just threw a load of specs at us. Like he knows that it's 20 millimeters at the 21st. No, 20 millimeters at the first fret and 21 millimeters at the 7th fret. There you are. So we got some information about Marcin's guitar, and then Dan's Fender Japan pick. Enox says that it looks like a sports car, like a Shelby-like stripes. Very
Couldn't agree
much
more.
so. I agree there. And if you're listening to the audio version, of course, don't forget to Google or look on Bing or Ask Jeeves for this information.
Bro, can I just say one thing?
Yeah, of course.
Because I think you went. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I don't want to interrupt. Go ahead, and then I'll say whatever.
Marcin, I need to know.
Because I'm actually looking at chat right now, and I think you went further from that. Somebody said stereo jack. You should see Mike Doe's 7 outputs. That's exactly what I had in mind when I was saying how my thing is like really, squeezed in, and I do not want to do that. Like I when I look at like Alex Misko's thing,
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like a fun little thing to look at. Maybe if we have like a Guinness Book of World Records or something. But if I were to use that on a live show, I would die. I'd shoot myself. So this is I don't think this is a good. Honestly, reasonably speaking, this is not a good way to go. With the gear cable stuff, because if something goes wrong on a show, 30 minutes before the gates open. First of all, you don't even know what went wrong usually, right? You have to check everything.
Yeah.
Whatever. I just wanted to respond to that because that's exactly what I had in mind when I was talking about my thing. Yeah.
Marcin, I have only one output on most of my guitars, and I can barely deal with that.
Right, exactly.
Two is madness. 7
more than enough.
is
Yeah, bro.
7 is just. I think
agree,
7's
I
evil.
agree.
That's an evil number of outputs to have on a guitar.
Yeah.
Josh Tamberg, some more financial advice, I think. If the yen falls far enough, he could order a Japan Fender instead of a Mexico Fender.
There you go.
Yeah, possible. All right. Well, I think we had two strong picks, and it's time for my pick, and I'm already apologizing for it. So, sorry.
Andy's pick of the week.
It's the EDM. like a Berlin rave. What?
Some of my favorite parts of doing this show is because I can see Dan and Marcin or whoever the guest is in the backstage area at all times. And whenever one of the jingles plays, I love watching the guests react to that when they're not on screen. And wow, that was really fun. Thank you, Marcin.
Yeah, you're welcome.
My pick of the week is an amplifier. It's an amp, and it's from a little company called Mesa Boogie. Now owned by what's that company called? Oh, Gibson. The Badlander 25 head or the Badlander 25 1x12 combo. I'm going to go for the head, even though I could only really find pictures of the combo, because I play heads more than I do combos. I've really been looking at buying recently a dual rectifier. And I know this is not the same amp, but in looking at getting the dual rectifier used recently, I've kind of fallen in love with the Mesa Boogie aesthetic. And I've never played a Badlander, so they're definitely never played a 25 because it's brand new. Mm-hmm. But I could see myself playing a Mesa Boogie in the next couple of years, and that excites and scares me. There's another pick. I know very little about this amp because there's very little online. I do have the stuff. It's $1,849. Mm-hmm. It comes with a foot switch, a cable, a power cable, and a cover, which is weird. It comes with the cable's for the foot switch. Okay, fair enough. I take it back. It's not that weird. And they're saying it's 25 watts of fire-breathing recto tone. And you've got to be careful how you say that.
Yeah.
2 channels, 3 selectable modes, plenty of tones. It's clean, crunch, and crush mode, plus independent gain, treble, mid, bass, presence, and master controls. So, sparkling clean, throaty crunch, or gut-punching high gain. I don't know if that's true, but that sounds like it's offering a lot. The sort of thing you might want to plug your acoustic guitar into. Oh, actually, hang on. Has it got 2 inputs? You could put. Has it got a high and a low input? You could plug both in. Or is the front? Is that a foot switch? Oh no, one's a foot switch, one's an input. Oh, that's disappointing.
Yep, just a foot switch.
Sorry, Marcin. You can only plug one in. Plug the
Don't
mic
be sorry.
in.
Look at the chat. Nothing to be sorry about. The people are speaking, and they're speaking in my favor. So.
What are the chats? Hang on, chat. I haven't even stopped talking about my pick, and you've already.
Do not hang on. Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
I have not even finished talking about the reasons I picked this, and you're already picking Marcin's lovely guitar.
Yeah. As they should.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay, here's the reason I picked the Mesa Boogie Badlander. You want to know the real reason? 100% honest truth. Hand to whoever you believe in, truth. There was no other gear released, and Dan sent me a pic of the Badlander. And I am frustrated and angry about the lack of gear releases at the moment. Also, because, and I can't show you this, but I'm staring at 2 new releases that I'm not allowed to share with you, and their dates have been pushed back. And they're right there. And they would be my pick right now because they should have been released today. And I can't talk about them. So I shan't.
Yeah.
So I have a Mesa Boogie. There you go. Burn that. See how that smells.
Oh, the silicon diodes, they'll probably burn very well. Just to add a couple specs, I think the smaller Boogie heads, they usually have like multi-wattage, so you can either pick between 25, 10, and maybe 1 or 2 watts. Apart from it, I'm not sure if you'd be the right guy to play Boogie, actually, because you've got to kind of dial in the tone every time you got to switch. Anytime you're gonna switch, I've been playing Boogies as a live amplifier, and at every single venue you had to start from scratch. all the knobs you turned down, then you had to dial in the tone. And the FOH guy usually gave me such a hard time and such a look. I'm fast on dialing in stuff, but he was super pissed because get something different, blah blah blah. But I wanted to play the boogie back in the day, so that was kind of a little bit of tedious kind of thing to bring to stage when you had like a very short changeover time, or So, but great amps, probably sounds great as well. But I'm not sure how available the Badlander will be in Europe, because I think there has been a lack of supply recently. So maybe it's a good
I'm never
pick.
going to get it, so I don't care.
All right.
I wanted to talk about something. But the very fact that you said that I might not be a boogie player makes me want to try this amp. The very fact that you said I have to twiddle those knobs every time, that makes me want to do it.
Okay.
That excites me because
next time you're at my place, you can try everything, like Lone Star, Transatlantic, Stiletto, Rectifier. You can help yourself.
You could be speaking Chinese right now, and I will be the same to me. I have no clue what you guys are even saying. I'm gonna be honest, like, just like that.
Amplifier, make guitar loud.
but acoustic guitar, no need amplifier.
No need amplifier, but need 2 outputs.
Sometimes need.
Right. Okay. Here we go. Here's the time where I lose the competition once again. We're going to choose, hypothetically, which piece of gear we would buy, which piece of gear we would borrow, and therefore I have to give back, and which piece of gear, whichever piece of gear it might be, we have to burn. So, Marcin, there's another jingle for this. You ready?
Oh yeah, let's go.
I borrow or burn.
Where did you get these from?
Andy made them.
You actually made them? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great job.
That's why I'm crap at guitar.
I love it.
If it wasn't for these jingles, I'd be amazing at guitar. But I'm focusing on my strengths and the things.
But now you're amazing at jingles, so I mean.
I'm world class. I won Poland's. Who wants to
Poland's jingle championship? No way. I just been watching it this past week, bro. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean they've called me back again, but I'm not going to go in again this year. I don't feel like it. I don't want to lose my crown. Anyway, I know my worth. Let's look at the chatty chat.
Yeah.
Ian Johnston, he would buy the Fender, borrow the acoustic, and burn whatever Andy can't tell us about, and dump the boogie in the sea. It's a good start. It's a great start. Marcin's excerpt, which is a fan channel, just wrote buy acoustic.
Yeah. I mean, the smartest person in chat. Doesn't need many words to express what they want to say. Buy acoustic. I'm gonna get that like on a sweater next. Buy acoustic.
That's a great
It's
sweater.
It's a pretty good sweater actually. Yeah.
Definitely.
By the way, great channel. I don't know why, but it's in my recommended all the time. I don't even watch anything like even about guitar. I just get this channel so much. It's a good channel. Thank you. Thanks for the content.
Thanks for the concise wording.
Absolutely.
Oh no, I've accidentally clicked that. Whoops, that's a compliment. Sorry. Sorry. Ula has said, Andy, I love your amazing talent. I didn't mean to click that. I just accidentally clicked it. Right. Does anybody else have an opinion? Is anyone not going to burn the Mesa Boogie? Josh Tamberg would buy the acoustic because he needs a new one, borrow the British Racing striped Strat, and burn the Boogie. Valeria would blame it on the Boogie. Nice, Valeria. But she would buy Marcin's Ibanez's, borrow the Herbie guitar. It does look like Herbie.
Herbie, yeah, that's a nice comparison. Herbie guitar.
It does, and burn the Mesa. Great. Studio McHeel, who is our only super chat of the show so far. What's that all about? He would buy the Japanese Fender, borrow Marcin's guitar, and burn the Boogie. Oh, hang on. Anybody else? No, let's leave it there. Anybody? Right, Marcin, let's ask you, sir. You get first pick this week. What would you buy? What would you borrow? And what would you burn?
Well, obviously, I'm buying the amp. I need so many amps right now. I'm like starving for amps. Use them all the time, practicing, whatever. Just
You need one. You need
no.
one.
But the real question is though, do I need to buy my own guitar if I have like 3 of them? Do I need to buy it? Is this a real scenario, or is this like
Hypothetically.
Well, but I don't think I
it's a
can.
case of. No,
I don't think I can say anything else though. I mean,
No.
even to be honest with you, even like I could have 5 of them, I would still buy one. Just give me the acoustic. I'm buying the MRC10 for sure.
Yeah.
buy acoustic.
Yeah.
Buy acoustic.
Buy acoustic.
I mean, it's kind of I don't like going with the flow, but like saying anything else than like borrow the Fender and burn the amp. I mean, nothing else makes sense to me. I'm sorry. It's just like sometimes the mainstream is the right stream, And this is that
Sometimes
moment.
it is. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm borrowing the Fender for sure. I know. Sorry, Andy.
Don't apologize. I am used to it. I am. I just.
I mean, it wasn't a tough choice to be honest. Like,
Not at all.
Let's be real. It's like, come on.
But I'm
Really-
repeating that time and again. There's weeks where Andy doesn't win, and there are weeks where Andy is losing. So buy, borrow, burn
Right.
is usually a rather fixed format.
Well, I think today he's losing, right? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what hurts so much is that Japanese Fender would absolutely be my pick. It's just Dan sent it me like he woke me up at 4 a.m. and sent me this. This is my pick for the week. This is my pick for the week. It's a Japanese Fender. Dan, you know that Japanese Fenders are my jam. I was barely asleep from last night, and you were texting me photos of your pick before I picked.
I'm so kind. I usually share all the pick choices with you, and this time I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I had that reference, the John Mayer reference, so I went for it. I
To be fair, I would not have had that John Mayer reference.
There you go.
Didn't see it. Would have seen the Blink 182 reference though. So I'm Nah. No, you deserve it, Dan. You deserve it.
Thank you. But I think
You're
the winner is definitely the MRC10.
Hang on, we
Not just
haven't
No?
we haven't decided yet. Wait a minute.
He has. Let him speak.
Dan, what would you buy? What would you borrow? What would you burn?
I would. That's a tough one. I would buy the Marcin because I'm in need of a good acoustic, and I'm
Good.
currently a little bit stuck with my AAD. I would borrow the Japanese Fender just because I bought another Fender, and you know which one, the Rocky, so I don't necessarily need a new one. But it's a good-looking guitar, so I really want to play it. And I would definitely burn the Boogie. And my reason is not because I don't like it, but because I have so many already at home, so I don't need it.
Yeah. He doesn't like it.
I'm very sorry, Andy. But buy acoustic. Can we just stick with buy acoustic?
It's fine.
Yeah, I think that's the episode title on the
It's again.
podcast.
Bro, somebody
Buy
from
acoustic.
Poland said, nic nie rozumiem, ale buja, which means I don't understand anything, but it's still cool. So, yeah.
Fantastic.
Maybe I can just speak Polish right now. I'm just speaking Polish for the
Absolutely.
rest, and then you guys just kind of guess what I'm saying.
We
you know?
just make up something. Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah,
Okay.
just
That's
guess.
fine.
Yeah, okay.
No
What's
dobra, to
Polish
teraz
for
mogę powiedzieć na
by
przykład,
Mr.
że reprezentacja Polski powinna była wygrać z Meksykiem, ale nie trafił. No ale no cóż, no tak się zdarza. Tak to bym inaczej się nazwał tutaj Robert Lewandowski, ale cóż. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
Good.
I heard Robert at the end. Robert was very clear.
Nice.
Lewandowski.
Yeah,
no,
good.
Lewandowski tonight or today.
Well, that's what I
unfortunately, right?
said, but you know,
Yeah.
you need to read between the lines, or really just need to know Polish. I think that's what I should say.
Yeah, that's my number one fail. Speaking of failing, right? I would.
All right, Andy, pants down.
I would. It's really tough. I mean, I'm burning the heck out of that amplifier, to be honest. It's just getting burned. I as I said, I chose it out of spite because there is too little gear being released at the moment. I chose it so just to get some hate for myself.
All right.
And it makes me feel good. I feel good that I'm burning my own pick this week. Sometimes I get upset, Marcin. Sometimes it really bothers me that I lose. But this week, I feel like I should
You
be
just
paying
into like
money for
kinky
this
stuff.
feeling.
I can tell. I mean, just say
I
straight
think
up.
I am. That feeling that I'm getting right now, I feel that might be what it is.
Right. Okay.
I think I need to make a few phone calls.
Whatever floats your boat, man.
But I'm genuinely, I have a dilemma as to which guitar I'm going to buy and which one I'm going to borrow, because I love me some Japanese Fender, as Dan knows, 4 o'clock this morning. But also, Marcin, your guitar, I had a guitar with a Fishman Rare Earth blend in it, and I have done this much percussive playing in my past,
Right.
and I really enjoyed it, and I can see that is a good guitar, because that's what I had in mind, that the Fishman Rare Earth blend. And I know the 900 that you've evolved from, so it's got to be good. The price is good. I thought it was going to be more.
Come
But I
on,
kind of
come
want that yellow
over.
Fender. It's
You're
you know what?
nice. You're nice.
You know, I'm gonna buy Marcin's guitar, and I'm gonna borrow the Fender. No.
What do you mean no?
I'm going to buy your guitar, Marcin. That's down,
Okay.
100%.
Okay,
But I've
okay,
changed my
thank you.
mind. I'm going to burn the Japanese Fender because I can't have it. And I'm going to borrow the Mesa Boogie because I want to hear it. And then I'm going to burn the
That's some Chad. That's a Chad move. I love that. That's like bravo to that.
I am a bit of a Chad. Thanks.
Yeah, that's like, Christopher Nolan type twist, I love it. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. That was a surprise. That was like super twist.
Bro, somebody said dance Marcin. Like, I'm a monkey. I'm not gonna dance for you. I'm sorry.
Who said? Oh no, dance.
Well,
yeah, he does.
it's
he
the
does say
fan
dance,
channel,
Marcin.
of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not dancing.
I don't
the
want to
song?
spoil
You know
too
the
much,
song?
but go on.
Sorry, go ahead. No, there's a song called Dance Monkey, but like it was big a few years ago. Terrible song
Yeah.
in my opinion, but that's what it looks like. Dance Marcin is the same like vibe to me. Not a good look.
When you read it, Dance Marcin, in my head, I heard it to the melody of Dance Monkey,
Dance Monkey, yeah.
which for
What
some
can I
reason
say?
escapes me now. Okay, right.
Snow Monkey.
I'm pretty much exhausted after all that. I feel like I should be having a lie down in a dark room with a cup of tea and some diazepam, but
Still on that kinky stuff, but that's fine.
Yeah, I think so.
a kinky tea. Marcin, thank you so much for bringing your guitar to the show and being on the show, because there's now another guitar that I didn't know that I wanted, that I do want, and
Great.
wouldn't do justice.
That's what
But
I'm
you
here
say you
for.
have 3, right? You surely you don't need 3. You probably send 1 to Austria.
I need more. I'm doing experiments on them. One of them is taped up. One of them is clean, like this one. The other one, I think, is a prototype, which is basically like the same, like very far along prototype, a slow prototype. So I could use more. And there's a Polish rapper, like one of the biggest Polish rappers in Poland. I want to say on the planet, but it's the same as in Poland. And he really wants one. So I was like, yeah, I'll send you one, but I don't have one to send him. So I need to. Dan, you need to work some magic. And,
Yeah.
he's like a big rapper. So
Okay.
yeah. So that's why I need more.
Okay. Well,
I think
Marcin,
we should
we're going to
both
give
them.
you a little break now, and we'll do a little sponsorship slot. Then after that, we'll come back, and we have some
Yes.
questions from the chat for you, and some questions from Dan and myself also, including
Great.
how big exactly is that Polish rapper? I want to know. Okay. Thanks, Marcin. Dan, it's time for a
Andy.
sponsorship read.
All right. Cool.
This week, we are proud to say that we are sponsored by Guitar Auctions from
Fantastic.
the UK, just like me. Guitar Auctions, it's coming soon, Dan, in December. And if you're listening to this fairly near day of release, then it is very, very soon. I've registered to bid, but let's pretend for a moment that we don't know what Guitar Auctions is. Dan, what is Guitar Auctions?
Oh, I think it's a Brit-based platform where you can actually register, log in, and bid for some crazy items. Because they start at crazy low prices, and you find some interesting, not just guitars, but also pedals, memorabilia, and just all stuff you could think of, in the realms of music. Yeah.
There is some great stuff, and I've logged in. I did register to bid, as I said, and I may or may not be bidding on the item that I found this week. This week I found a Stratocaster from 1962. Made in the USA, of course, Fiesta Red refinish, which means that it's going to be slightly cheaper than if it were not refinished. How much cheaper? Well, guitar auctions estimate between £8,000 and £12,000 for a 1962 Fender Strat. It's got a rosewood board. It's got a body made of wood. It's got strings made of metal.
All the details, you have them down. That's amazing.
Thanks, man.
But do you roughly remember? I think we once talked about that. How much does a refinish devaluate a guitar? Is it like 50% of those kind of vintage guitars? Maybe someone in the chat can give us a little bit of a hint.
Yeah, someone Google that stuff.
Yeah,
but I'm just going to show pictures for all the people on the audio version. I mean, I think it's a great looking guitar. It's 62, so it's going to sound that way, unless, of course, the painting has done something to it. And it comes in a case and got all the case candy and pictures and things. And there might be more things. But if you want more information, do you know what you need to do?
Log in at Guitar Auction?
Yeah, guitar-auctions.co.uk. Guitar Auctions at Gardner Holgate. And see our friend Luke. And the next auction is the 7th and 8th of December. This will be on the 7th. So good luck with that. And if someone in the chat buys this, please let us know. And please let me buy it. Borrow it.
2 weeks. 2 weeks from now. Don't burn it. Please don't burn it. No.
Definitely not burn it.
Yeah.
Right, thank you to Guitar Auctions for sponsoring us. Man, I'm having trouble speaking. And we shall be there when you do your bidding live. And if you want to register to bid, go and do it now. guitar-auctions.co.uk.
Sweet.
Right. Let's bring back the man with the coolest taps in Poland. It's Marcin.
Yeah. Imagine you bring somebody back. It's not me. It's just some other Polish guy.
The rapper guy. The rapper, yeah.
Yeah, he's the rapper.
The reason I said about his taps is because Marcin's currently in his kitchen. And I don't want to brag too much, but we saw his taps earlier. And they were really decent taps.
Yeah, it's true.
Full disclosure, yeah.
It's true.
So, Marcin, how are you? Did you enjoy your break?
You saw what I was doing. I didn't do that.
I did, yeah.
I did pour, because I don't know if you saw me drinking from this water bottle. I poured it into a very, very fancy cup I got from Ichika in Japan. It's a birthday gift. Yeah, from him.
It's like
I thought you were drinking Baileys earlier. Were you drinking Baileys or iced coffee?
No, bro, there's this thing. People think that I drink a lot of alcohol, which is absolutely, it's not true. The reason why some people, especially the people in the, let's say, inner circle of my closest fans from Patreon and the really dedicated people, they think that because one of them met me in Japan. His name is Chris. He met me in Japan because he's Japanese, and we went out. We went out to dinner. I took him out to a restaurant, and he never drank alcohol in his life, right? So I drank maybe like a beer and I think a cup of shochu, this Japanese alcohol. So not very much. I mean, it's by any standards, not very much. But because he's a teen, he doesn't necessarily know the stuff. So he was like, wow, he drank so much. And then he told that to some people. It's a thing now. It's a thing now that people think that I drink myself death or something. It's not true at all. It's not true. So when I say that actually I was playing a show in Warsaw, this Saturday, I was playing a show in Warsaw, and there was this woman, very nice lady, and she's also on a Patreon. And she came up to me after the show for the meet and greet, and she was like, "Wow, so what alcohol do you like the most? What's your?" Well, I don't. Yeah, so don't even suggest Baileys or anything. This is water. It's straight up premium Polish water, but in an alcohol cup to be clear. But yeah, it's only for sentimental value.
So before it was iced coffee, not Baileys, right?
It was iced coffee. Yeah, exactly. I love iced
I'm
coffee. That's like
so disappointed.
Icicle.
don't be-
Fantastic. Yeah, 2 shots of sake and you're good, basically, right?
yeah. I mean, I'm pretty like a lightweight, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm you know.
Yeah,
I'm
one
there
iced coffee
immediately.
and I'm done. Right.
Oh, iced coffee
We
with
haven't-
Baileys is fantastic, by the way. Iced coffee with Baileys.
I've
That's
heard
a
that. Yeah, never
fantastic
had it.
combination.
Never heard it.
I once drank Bailey's from a shoe.
You did
In
what?
Australia, maybe.
It's not true. It's just if anyone gets that reference, then they can be
Okay.
my best friend.
You know how they do the
nerd-
shoey
nerd
in
alert.
Australia? Have you heard of that? The shoey.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
this
yeah.
on YouTube recently where a comedian was doing it on stage.
Well, but it's like a thing. It's like they do it. You know, it's like a thing that they do. Which is mad for a country to do that. Right? It's cool. I like it.
Not my
No.
shoe, thank you.
It's great.
Right, Marcin, we've got a question from the chat, and it's a request. It's from Saba Modaresi, and he says, or they say, I have a question for Marcin. I really want to meet you and to go to one of your live shows. Will you ever be coming to Canada, especially Toronto, please?
I'd love to meet Saba too, man. I mean, it would be great. I'm sure. The unfortunate answer is that I don't have any plans to tour Canada too soon. The reason for that is that now I'm touring Poland, and after that, before I toured a bit of Europe with One Republic. After that, I'm taking a break mostly and just finishing my record, finishing the album. There's a lot of work to be done, and it's not so easy. Not from my end, unfortunately. From other people's end, it's a little bit. There's some obstacles, but we're gonna overcome it. So I'm gonna be working on that next year, and afterwards, I'm definitely going on tour. I would assume I'm going to be in Canada too, but that's to be discussed with my agency. Actually, maybe very soon. But yeah, so that's in the works. I mean, I don't want to tour before I have enough like material to tour with properly, you know. But I'd love to come to Canada. Canada is great in general. I have an uncle actually who lives in Canada, and Canada is like for like percussive guitar. It's like that place, you know. Like so many guitarists come from there. So I'd love to.
Yeah. So keep supporting Marcin. So the
Definitely.
agents kind of decide that they want to see him in the States and in Canada as well. I think that would probably be some sort of North American leg.
For sure.
Yeah,
I mean, the US is like the biggest place for me, I think, in terms of reach and even probably recognizability. I would assume. So it's definitely happening. It's just that it's a matter of time. And in general, especially post-COVID, agencies don't want to do much without like a big reason, you know, because I could probably go there, play a show, make some money, but it's not the point of doing these things. We want to make like a big splash and big thing. So just please keep your eyes peeled and I'll make it work some point.
Sweet.
Yeah, I guess the fans can make it happen by requesting it and buying tickets and stuff like that. It's the ball's in their park.
Marcin, after you've been semi-finalist at America's Got Talent, have you been to the States after that?
Have
again?
I? Probably. Yeah, I lived in the States, man.
Yeah,
I
sure.
lived
Yeah,
for,
of course. Okay. So did
I
people
actually forgot about that. I was like, wait, did I?
Yeah,
go
because
to
the
States?
pandemic. I wasn't sure because of the whole pandemic situation.
Yeah,
how long
yeah,
you
yeah,
stayed. Did people kind of recognize you from America's Got Talent? on the street?
Yes. And actually, the first time I went to the US after coming back from AGT was for NAMM in 2020, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
right before in January, before the pandemic. So I got recognized quite a lot, like by normal people. I remember actually this is the first time I met with Fishman. I don't remember with whom exactly, but one of the guys from Fishman, and he took me out to dinner, and at that moment somebody recognized me. I was like, "You should have won," that's what they said. and he was Chris he was like, "That's so cool. That's the best thing ever." That's like that. Like gave me very good like props with the Fishman guys. But then when I went to Berkeley a year later, right, last year for the 4 months in the fall, in autumn, a ton of people recognize me, but I think mostly because at Berkeley it's just all musicians. So a lot of musicians I think have awareness of who I am, without any AGT stuff or anything like that. So that was the the time when I was recognized by far the most at Berkeley, like without any comparison at all. Here it's quite rare. Here it's maybe like once every 2 weeks somebody would say something, but it's very rare. But yeah, I haven't been to the US since last year, so I don't know what it's like now.
Maybe about time.
Right.
Yeah.
About time. Yeah, definitely about
I'd
time.
love to.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to, but I was touring with One Republic, so I
Yeah.
had to say no, unfortunately. But it will happen.
Man.
Sweet.
There's a question that has been asked by several people, and a question I'd like to know the answer to. And I'm not sure you're going to give us the answer, but I'm going to try anyway. I'll try for us. MDDM has asked or says, cannot wait to hear the new album and maybe go to one of your concerts in Europe. Collab with Tim or Polyphia confirmed? And that's the answer that I want to know.
I thought this was supposed to be a chill show, no, like hard hitting.
No, full pressure. You burnt my amplifier.
All pressure on Marcin, yeah.
The fight is on.
I cannot wait to see one of my concerts in Europe too.
Oh, okay. That's as much as we
No,
need to
I mean,
discuss.
I'm not gonna confirm anything, but I can say that I know Tim. Tim knows me. We talked.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not. It would be really pointless. Imagine if I just I'm not saying
Yeah.
anything for a while. Nobody knows. I mean, Tim is way up there now. It's like crazy, so nobody knows what's happening. I just say something. No, just relax.
Cool.
Can't believe you Andrew Garfield that. I don't even know Tim. Tim who? No, never heard of it. Yeah.
That would be like. I think he would like that. He seems like the guy who would kind of like that sort of, response. But anyway,
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that. That would sell some guitars. Not sure which brand, but it would sell some guitars.
Yeah, I wonder which brand would sell better.
Yeah.
Gibson.
Might do. You could do it with some burning Mesa Boogies behind you. That would sell some stuff.
Ooh. That would make for a great video.
I can tell you one thing. If I were to shoot a video with Tim, I have a very clear idea what I want to happen in the video.
All right.
Would you both wear the same jumper? And I don't mean like jumper each.
You
I
would
mean
not
you both
want
be
to
with...
wear. No.
No, I think you should be inside the same jumper, like a jumper with two.
Okay, that's
two
what
neck
you mean.
holes.
That's what you mean. No, I think Tim likes Fendi and Gucci too much. I don't think they make these sort of things. We'd have to custom made. I don't think we're big enough to ask that.
I think you are. I think you're bigger than you need.
You could be the contrast as well. I don't know if there's a Polish brand, but you could go with some Adidas.
This is the
stripes or
Polish
something
brand
like
by
Venus Madonna?
Misbehave. This is the Polish.
right.
It's not. I mean, this is Basquiat, the American painter graffiti artist. But
Yeah.
this sweater is a Polish brand. It's like the only. It's not like up there, but it's like kind of a better brand from Poland. So it's great.
What's the name? What's the name again?
Misbehave.
Misbehave.
And
Okay.
it's like MISBHV. No consonant or no vowels in the second part.
Ah,
Misbehave. All right.
Manuel likes it as well. I feel like because he wore it a few times. Gardner
yeah.
Fernandez.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Sorry, I'm just plugging in Polish stuff.
go for it. I mean,
Yeah.
we've plugged water, we've plugged clothing.
Great.
Maybe since we've been on the kinky road a little bit, maybe we can also talk a little about fingernails because you got to understand, Andy. Some of the content that Marcin is posting is also fingernail content, and this is what people
It is.
request
is.
time and again.
Yeah.
Fill
They
us
don't
in a
even need to
little bit.
request. I mean, at some point, I did like this with my hand, just took a photo, and that got like the most story views I had in my life. So I was like, okay, let's go. So every now and again, I do it. I mean, usually, because people ask me this every single interview, they ask me for the fingernails, and at this point, I'm considering just like being like, what would you say, Andrew Garfield. I don't even know if he reacts this way, but I'm like, well, I don't know. Should I show them, or is it like, I don't know. Why should I? Well, no, I mean, it's like whatever. It's just fingernails, guys. It's nothing.
Yeah, but you gotta be pretty careful, like to kind of keep. Do you use fake nails then?
Bro, I'm not careful at all. I'm like the least careful person ever.
Okay.
Like that's why if I were careful, I wouldn't need to have. What I have here is gel. That's the thing, is gel over my nails. So they're actually real nails. The length is real. Everything is real, but
Okay.
they're covered in a layer or multiple layers of gel. So
All
it's
right.
just for like hardening. You know,
Yeah.
it's not. There's not fake nails. Some guitarists do fake nails. I really don't like that. It's to me it feels borderline to borderline to playing with these like finger pick stuff, you know, like these
Yeah.
like plastic. I hate that. That's just not my thing, you know.
Yeah,
So so it's gel. I've been doing it for a while. You know, when I first did it, when I was starting acoustic, so I had to be like 15, I want to say. When I was in the Polish talent show, I did it for the second stage for the first time. So I did that. Then I went to my teacher, classical guitar teacher, very eccentric guy, and I showed it to him, right? And in classical guitar, you don't do that. You keep them natural, you know. You don't do anything to your nails. So I showed it to him, like, look at this, and he's like, this is fucking ridiculous. Why the hell would you do that? You're ruining your sound. It's gonna be trash. Okay, play. You know. So I played to him. Play this piece called Capriccio Arabe. It's a very famous classical guitar piece. And he's like, trash. Get out of my office. Trash. Sounds terrible. Get out.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. At this point, I know him. So at this point, I'm like, okay. I just left. But then I come back a week later. Obviously, the same nails. I mean, literally exactly the same. But he doesn't even remember this whole thing. So I play to him the same piece. He's like, oh my God, this is the most beautiful sound ever. It's like, how come? How, you know, it's great. You know, you're going to win the competition. It's going to be great. Amazing. You know, it's with the same nails. So anyway, that's, you know, I've been doing this since 2015, right? So 7 years now. And yeah, it's crucial. Absolutely crucial. Yeah. And it's good content for sure.
Quality content. That's exactly what you need on Instagram.
Yeah.
I need to know about the gel, Marcin. When you say gel, I need to know, like, is there a gel designed to do the job that it's doing on your fingernails, or did you go to the hardware store? Or
have you been to Japan, Andy?
No, I haven't.
So in the Japanese konbini stores, these convenience stores, they have this energy jelly. They say energy jelly, right? They have this like little packets of jelly. So I just buy them. I just squeeze them on just like put them in, and that's how I play. It's all from Japan, straight from.
Japanese energy gel. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Getting my pen. Right. So wash hair twice daily, and Japanese energy pan. There we go.
Gel.
Done.
Yeah.
Gel.
You guys know Robert Pattinson, right? The actor, Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
So
he's not been
what
on the
he
show
does-
yet, but I know him.
What he does is he just lies on interviews, and he's very open about it. He just comes on interviews. He just lies. You know, I love that. That's like the most badass thing ever. Just like it's like the funniest thing ever. Sorry. So that was a lie, but like obviously.
Yeah. Wash hair once daily. There we go.
Yeah. No, I mean, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of. It's.
No, I enjoyed it.
It's the Baileys. It's the Baileys that I drank. It's making me kind of dizzy. No, it's just not. You go to a nail salon, like a middle-aged woman. You sit there, and you just kind of get your nails done. You tell the nice lady to put more layers than she would for a woman, because they want them more thin, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care about the looks that much, so it's much more thick. So she just puts many layers of that. I pay and then I play.
Okay. First you pay, then you play. But you know what, Andy? Maybe something like a energy gel, like a hardener, nail hardener, would be something that Stumac should consider to take in their portfolio, because I think that would be a great tool for touring musicians if they had something they could put on their nails and that would kind of strengthen their nails. I don't know.
Well, you know what, Dan?
What?
Stumac is sponsoring this episode. We should probably talk about them for a moment.
Yeah, of course.
Hey, Marcin, go and have a little play with your taps for a minute, and we'll talk about Stumac. Right. Yes, Stumac, they should do hardening stuff. I don't know if they do, but they are sponsoring this show. Stumac, what they say is that they say guitars can be good, right, Dan? But guitars can also be, what is it?
Better?
Better, yes. Stumac making guitars better. They have, unsurprisingly, a Black Friday sale at the moment
Fantastic.
with over 900 items on sale. There's tools, there's kits, there's hardware, and there's more. I picked some stuff out from the website. There's 15% off hardware at the moment. So pick guards, covers and plates, all bridges and tunomatics. So if you're looking at upgrading your stuff and you live in the US currently, because they're US based currently, then this might be the thing for you. Otherwise, there's some more fun stuff. There's electric guitar kits, some pedal kits, and ukulele kits, and acoustic guitar kits in case you want to build an acoustic guitar and then put a scratch pad on it and then put a Fishman Rare Earth in it or whatever. And so I've got one of the pedal kits and I have a video coming out on it very, very soon. If you were to buy one now, it would be cheaper than it was. Cheaper than it was, and also cheaper than it will be. But apparently they're not doing
Inflation,
Japanese
right? Inflation.
gel stuff. Not yet.
Not yet. There you go.
I'll send them an email. But if you do want to get tools, and I highly recommend them, I have some in this drawer. You hear that, Dan?
Sounds amazing. ASMR, high quality
That's
content.
Stumac tools, that is. Hear that? That's not Stumac tools. That's just bits of paper. Didn't sound as
I
good,
was
right?
about to say it didn't sound as good. Yeah,
Didn't sound as good.
Not
That
at all.
rubbish. This
much better.
tone tools.
Let's get Marcin back to the show.
Yeah. Hi, Marcin.
This is so kinky.
I once went to a nail salon, Marcin, and asked to have my nails sorted as a guitar player because I was doing a small tour and I'd ripped my finger and ripped a nail and wanted to get it all fixed. I got laughed at the shop, and it was an experience that
Really?
I stayed with. Yeah, I said I'm a guitar player. I need this being done, and all these women just laughed at me, and I left.
No, you need to embrace it. You need to be so confident that they don't dare laugh at you, because then it's like, I don't know, you need to just come in with this energy. Where
True.
It's like, either do it or just like close down the shop, because there's no other way.
Pretty sure.
No, but
they're scared of me.
actually, in all seriousness, this is a thing because like when I was 15, right, when I started doing that, that's like you go to high school and everything, so you kind of have to be prepared for kind of some looks of
Yeah.
unknown. The good thing for me was that it was exactly the same time when I did the Polish show, which I managed to win. So that did kind of answer most people's questions immediately before they even asked them. So that was good. But yeah, I think I asked quite a lot on my Patreon, especially like how do you deal with that? How do you even ask for that to be done? What's the whole thing? It is a bit awkward at first, for sure.
Speaking of your Patreon, Saba, the person from Canada, says, Marcin, should I join your Patreon? I will do it if you say so.
Well, do it then. Come on.
There we are. Done.
Of course.
What can people expect on the Patreon? Can you fill us in a little bit?
Actually, if you join right now, you can expect the last live stream of the year because in December I'm gonna be taking a break. So it's like the last time to catch a stream. So I do a stream monthly on my Patreon. It's only for the Patreon people. So right now it's like, I don't know, 130, usually 140 people. I don't really promote the Patreon at all anymore, just because it's like I really just do it for this fact that there's a very close-knit community of people who are very close to me and supporting me very strongly. I don't really care too much to be expanding that more, to be honest, because there's other things which I'm doing. So putting more work there. But yeah, there's a live stream every month and you can actually hear me and see me live, playing live. Obviously not like in person, but on Zoom with all the rig and everything. Every month, and I talk to you guys, they ask me stuff. It's not dissimilar from what this is, but there's also a playing part. And yeah, we don't talk about amps, that's for sure.
Amp-free zone. Okay.
Yeah.
Can we talk about your gear for a second? We know that your guitar has a stereo out that goes into two things. What do you plug your guitar into? You said that you want to keep it as simple as possible and you're not into that sort of stuff, but there's you, there's the guitar, and then
Yeah.
what?
It's a good question. I just don't use amps is the answer. I just plug into the PA whenever I play, And in most of the venues that I play now, the PA is really good, thankfully. It was an issue when I was, many years ago when I was playing very small venues every now and again in Poland or whatever, where it would be a problem. But I just don't really like playing with amp. You have like tweaking all of these knobs. I feel like you have an audio engineer who you get to work with you, right? Like let them do their job. So yeah, it's great. I mean, when I toured now with One Republic, these places were very big. Like the biggest one that I played on was in Milan, which was like 11,000 people. So like a proper arena. And I don't know, like having amps there, like carrying amps, like miking the amps, or like whatever. I don't even know how they do these things. So it's the easiest thing for me is that I have a rig which actually includes a laptop, a Mac, which has a Logic Pro open on it. That sort of has the bulk of the mixing done already. So the sound which I'm sending to the audio engineer is very much mixed, very much already big and proper and a good sound. So there's not much to be done from the engineer. And then we send it to the PA, just the system in the arena or in the hall or whatever. And that's it. That's my thing. Then I go to the dressing room and practice. I don't think about carrying amps and stuff like that. Yeah. I think
What's on Logic? Is it reverb? Is it a compressor?
it's
what's
actually
going on?
This is really secret. I'm never gonna talk about what was there, but it's technical.
It's a fuzz pedal. It's a fuzz pedal, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the metal zone, digital metal. No, it's technical stuff. So it's like compression. It is reverb as well. The main thing is that when you split the signal between the strings and the percussion, the microphone part, that needs to be mixed. That it even needs to be balanced. So even just the balance is done in Logic. In a digital way, not analog, digital way, right? So there's that. I also the pedals which I do use, which isn't much, but it's all in a MIDI controller actually, from this company called Nectar. It's a really cool thing. It's called Pacer, the thing that I
I've
use.
just got one. It's outside that door right now.
No way.
It arrived
Yeah,
yesterday.
It's sick. I mean, for Miney, that's like the only thing which works perfect. So I use that, and the pedals which I click, they turn the buses in Logic on and off, right? So on one bus, I could have like a ton of plugins. Like I could have anything I want, literally, and I could just control it with one click. I wouldn't need to have a ton of pedals coming into something to, right? So that's the bulk of it, and of course most of it is just technical stuff so that you can avoid feedback, avoid some boomy stuff, whatever. That's the bulk of it. Limiting.
Sorry, I'm laughing because there's people in the chat suggesting what pedals it could be. Valeria says it's a Miku pedal.
Oh, that's a sick pedal though. I love it.
And then Poo Ninja says it's a fart pedal.
Yeah, it's a very apt name of this user, by the way. I love that.
Yeah. Hey, Pooh. I have both of those pedals, and I can say that, Marcin, you do not need either of those pedals.
No.
But you...
Not at all.
Yeah. No, stay away.
Yeah, I don't need them, but I deserve them.
Yeah.
Absolutely, no doubt about that.
Save it for your comeback, when you're...
When I play in Canada, in Toronto. That's when I'll use
the encore will be featuring the Miku pedal. There you go.
Miku fart combo. That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
I've just realized no one's, at least no one that I know of, has stacked the Miku into the fart pedal, or the fart pedal into the Miku.
That's high quality content, right? That's exactly what we're here for.
I should do that, right?
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt about that.
I'll do
the
that.
channel will skyrocket. No, like
I was going to practice guitar, but I'm going to do that instead.
Yeah, that's better. And
actually, probably not a bad idea, to be honest.
It's my idea. I'm doing it
right now, tonight. So, question, Marcin, what was basically like? Did you start on the classical guitar and then move on to the acoustic right away, or did you try other like electric guitar, or even other instruments like the piano, or what was like your musical journey with the instrument?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely started with classical. That was like the very beginning. It's just my dad was just putting me into like a ton of stuff to do, like extracurricular stuff, outside of school. And So I did like swimming, you know, I did like football, obviously. I even did gymnastics for like a month or something. So my parents just kept putting me into different things to try out what I liked, which is, by the way, a great thing to do as a parent. I feel like that really worked out for me. And eventually they put me in guitar, right? Just for no reason. My dad just bumped into this friend of his. He was a guitar teacher, and then he gave us a card to another teacher. So yeah, it was classical, pure traditional classical. And I did that since I was like 10, 9.5, 10, I would usually say. And then when I was 12 or 13, something like this, I went to these workshops in Poland, and there was a Spanish guitarist there, flamenco guitarist called Carlos Piñana was his name. Fantastic player. And also very famous in the flamenco sphere, really fantastic player. And he actually reached out to me, and he was like, maybe I could teach you. Actually, there was a year afterwards, I practiced a lot flamenco, and then he asked me, you know, if I wanted to jump on Skype with him every like other week and have a class just through Skype because he was in Spain. So I did that, and I played flamenco and classical, right? No acoustic, no electric, no nothing. No piano, no nothing else. Then I think I picked up drums like a little bit. Like my dad got me this cheap Yamaha electric drum set, you know, electronic, not even electronic drum set. Because before I used to play Guitar Hero and play the drums a lot. I actually was really good at it. I was playing the Guitar Hero. I think it was not the Guitar Hero 3 was the biggest one, but I played the one after that. So I played that one. No, I think it was like Legends of Rock or something like that. Warriors of Rock or Warriors of Rock, something like this. Something like that, yeah. So I played that, and I actually managed to play on like expert difficulty on the percussion. You know, I loved it. It was sick. So they got me the drum set, but it's like a really cheap Yamaha set. But so I kept playing flamenco and classical simultaneously, and they're very much connected, you know. And then when I was 14, so like 2 years, let's say, after I picked up flamenco, my dad got me this Maton guitar with a signature from Tommy Manuel for Christmas. So it was like a big gift, you know. We didn't get like massive gifts. Excuse me, holy shit! Sorry, there's the perlage coming out. So yeah, so he got me the sorry, it's the funniest thing ever. So he got me the Tommy Manuel Maton for Christmas when I was 14, which was a great gift. And yeah, I started just watching percussive stuff online, like Tony Manuel as well. I mean, not so percussive, but definitely very fingerstyle. Mike Doss was, I think, just like blowing up, you know, back then. Andy McKee, you know, those sorts of people. Yeah, Antoine Dufour, it was also a player. Yeah, so I was watching these sort of guys, and that was sick to me. And yeah, I just started experimenting on my own, and yeah, that's how it happened basically. And I did all of these things simultaneously. The water is spiked. It's not. yeah. I mean, I would, if I were you, I'd think that for sure as well. Well, anyway, so yeah, so I did all of those things simultaneously, you know, and then I got into music production. Just, you know, I really like electronic music, so I did that for fun, and yeah, and then electric guitar just came naturally. To be honest, I mean, don't hate me, but electric guitar is super easy. Like in comparison to all of these things, it's just really easy. And I'm not saying.
Hang on, whoa.
No. Electric guitar is super easy.
You come on our show, you make disgusting noises, and then you say things like that, and you burn amplifiers.
Yeah,
for some reason,
I'm a badass, man. I don't care. Yeah, no, I mean it is. Come on, like I think that most electric players, when they pick up, if they try to play proper flamenco, they would agree. I mean, I can't imagine a world where somebody wouldn't agree. But I'm not saying this coming from an arrogant place. It's absolutely not what I mean. It's just that, objectively speaking, going from a place where you have hundreds and hundreds of years of technique and tradition, and frankly, just, you know, playing with your fingers properly, not improperly. That's much more difficult than you know. Obviously electric guitar is not an easy instrument. It's just that there's years of history behind that.
I think Gary O'Neill just made a very good remark. I think we got to extend the claim. It's not just bioacoustic; it's bioacoustic. Electric is too easy.
Right. That's even better merch. That's gonna sell out like crazy. I love that.
Even I
Thank
want
you,
one
Gary.
of those.
Yeah. Fantastic.
No, I have to agree with you, Marcin. I know this is going to alienate a few people, but yeah, getting a decent sound like you do out of an acoustic, I'm more of a stick on a fuzz pedal and have some fun that way. But it takes
again,
a lot of skill, a lot of dedication.
It's not about any single player, or anything.
No,
it's not about me or anybody.
But I hear what you're saying. In case anyone is, I'm on your side. In case anyone's listening to or watching this and thinking that wasn't very nice, I think you need to go and try to play an acoustic guitar and see how it feels.
Yeah, and it's also, I'm not saying that something being more difficult is better, because it's definitely not. Definitely not. It's just that when I was talking about how I developed the way I play now, it's that electric was literally the last thing that I ever tried, and I never learned electric because there's really nothing to learn. After I don't even play with a pick, I just use this is what I play with, and it's literally just like a pick, right, or just all my fingers. So that's just what I meant. That going through these phases of guitar, electric is kind of a natural, easier thing to try.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Marcin, how tightly knit is the whole fingerstyle community? Like you mentioned, Mike Dawes, Tommy Emmanuel,
Tony,
not Tony, no,
Tony Soprano,
Tony Soprano,
Walter White.
What's your name?
I mean, I assume that you guys know each other because you meet at events and you meet at shows. But do you also have some sort of exchange with certain people?
Well, to be fully honest with you, this is the segment of the show where I say controversial stuff, but I don't really feel a part of the fingerstyle community. And I never really wanted to be a part of that just because it really feels like, and I would exclude Mike from that and Tommy. Mm-hmm. I never met Tommy Emmanuel, by the way, so I'm not even going to speak on him because I don't deserve that. But I met Mike, I met some of the other guys. So the wave of percussive players from the early 2010s and late 2000s, which would include Andy McKee, Antoine Dufault, Helen Graham, many others. That wave is super tight-knit to an extent which is really not healthy, It's really not, I just feel like there's not very much movement in that community. Mm-hmm. And the place where it stems from is a huge admiration. So I saw Tony in the chat. It's really funny. I saw there's a big admiration to a player called Michael Hedges, who is probably the godfather of modern percussive playing. I would never deny that, and massive influence on anything anybody does in this style. But there's a certain influence that he has posthumously on this sphere, which I really didn't like, and I never wanted to be a part of that. So I don't really have much to say on that sphere of people because I never really aligned myself with them, and now I don't align myself with them. I never really wanted to go in that box of percussive fingerstyle players just because, just my thing. I'm not trying to offend anybody at all. And I'm aware that, the way that I play is controversial in a very basic sense. So I'm sure this can kind of some negative emotions. I just mean that this is not where I feel that I lie, in terms of my style. And
Gotcha.
Wow, Marcin, it has been an absolute pleasure. I didn't know how this was going to go. I didn't know if it was going to be fun. I was pretty sure you were going to burn my amp, but I didn't know the kind of conversation we were going to have. And I can see why people gravitate towards you and your playing, and I wish you the absolute best. But you know what? You don't need it, man. You are flying, and you're going to fly even higher the older you get. No, man, it's great. And I'm going to try and make sure that my cat comes around to your style of music.
Please do.
And when I do,
love cats,
I will let you know.
I would appreciate that. No. Thank you for having me, Andy. Thanks, Dan, for the invitation.
Yeah,
big pleasure, guys. Absolutely,
thanks for joining.
Pleasure.
Congrats again on the MRC10 and on
Buy
that big crowd.
MRC10. That's the takeaway from this.
Buy acoustic.
Yeah, by acoustic,
Acoustic.
electric is too
Electric's
easy,
too easy.
MRC 10. Yeah, and the burp at the end. That's the closer. That's the finish.
That's a closer. We're going to put that on a soundboard and
Drink-
sound that.
Please.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Well, to the people
Cheers.
in the chat, thank you for joining us this evening on the show. If you're listening to the audio version, thank you for joining us wherever you are. And reach out on social media, drop us a line. And if you, what you should really do is share the show to as many people as you can, so the world gets to hear Marcin's very controversial opinions.
There you go. All right,
Okay.
everyone. It was a pleasure.
Yep.
Thank you,
We
guys.
will.
Thanks,
We'll see you next
everybody.
week, Marcin. Don't go anywhere. We're just going to end the stream, and we'll chat to you in a moment. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks so much.
Good night. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Guitar Stories Podcast, your #1 show for everything guitar.